Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're going to be recapping last night's NBA slate of games. Friday night, we had 8 games. We had some big performances, some really cool moments that happened last night, some good games. We're going to talk about all that here in today's video. If you missed any other recap, you can go back on the channel and watch them. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, so if you do hit the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications to us, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It lives out a lot. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So I'll start with the first game. We had the Pistons and the 76ers, and the Sixers won this game 124-92. The 76ers now won 5 games in a row. They're 17-7. They're tied for second right now in the Eastern Conference. They outscored Detroit 35-17 in the second, 33-23 in the third. And Detroit has now lost a franchise record 22 games in a row. They're 2-23. Looking at team stats, Pistons actually shot better from the field, 43%, Sixers were 42%, but the Sixers hit 14 threes, the Pistons hit just 4 threes in this game, and Philly was also 28 for 31 from the free throw line. Pistons were 18 for 23. Philly also had forced 21 turnovers and had 16 offensive rebounds. Joel Embiid, 35 points, 13 rebounds, 4 blocks, shot 9 for 19, 2 for 3 from 3, 15 for 16 from the free throw line. Absolutely dominating the Pistons in 3 quarters again. For the last 3 games, he's only had to play 3 quarters. But yeah, Joel Embiid just dominating. Tyrese Maxey had 19 points, 15 for Marcus Morris off the bench. He was 5 for 5 from 3, 13 and 7 from Tobias Harris, and 11 for Kelly Oubre. Yeah, just absolute domination. Detroit, they're bad, and it's getting now to the point where Kate Cunningham looked checked out. A lot of their players looked checked out of this game. By the second quarter, by halftime, it was like they didn't even care anymore about the game, you know? And, I mean, to be honest, I can't really, of course, bad body language, stuff like that isn't good. But to be honest, I can't really, blame them for that, even though they're kind of the reason, I guess. I mean, they're playing on the court, so I guess they're the reason they've lost 20 in a row. But it's just, it's just so, you can't even call it bad anymore. It's horrendous. It's horrible. It's disgusting. You know? They've lost 22 games in a row. We're not even at Christmas yet. No team has ever even won 20 games yet. No one has won 20 games yet. And they've lost 22 in a row. You know? It's just how long are the Pistons going to keep this up without making a change? How is Monty Williams still have a job? How is a sign or a trade not been made? How is a management, how has nothing been done yet? How has nothing been changed? You've lost 22 games in a row, man. I don't think, and the GM people waiting to see, we're waiting to see and play it out, see how this team gels together. You've lost 22 in a row. Gelling and playing it out is not a scenario in this. Because even if they do figure it out, it's to win what? To win 16 games? To win 17 games? You guys don't have a talented team already, a young team already that's trying to win, and then you had injuries, now you're trying to bring it all together and have a gelling period, down 22 games in a row you've lost, and you're trying to gel. It's bad. And I really feel for Detroit fans, you know? They should not have to deal with this. This is, honestly, might be the worst of the worst. And that's saying something, because Detroit has gone through some things. You know, I mean, they've had the Lions haven't been good in, 40 years, maybe even before that, you know? And now they're good. But the Pistons, man, it's just, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. Yeah. Next, we have Pelicans and Hornets. Pels won this game 112-107. It's actually a very close game. Pelicans had a big second quarter, then the Hornets come back in the third, but the Pelicans put this game away. They're now 15-11. They have won 3 games in a row. They are the 9th seed in the West, while the Hornets have lost 3 in a row. They fall to 7-16. Looking at team stats, New Orleans shot 48% from the field, Charlotte shot 45%. Both teams hit 9 threes. New Orleans was 27 for 32 from the free throw line. Hornets were 16 for 21. And New Orleans also had assisted Charlotte 24-18. For the Pels, Jonas Valanciunas, 29 points, 13 rebounds, shot 11 for 16, dominating down on the paint. The Hornets have now had Mark Williams for a little while, and yeah, Jonas Valanciunas took advantage of it. They're feeding him. He was getting easy ones. Zion had 21 and 11, 19 for CJ McCollum, 13 for Trey Murphy off the bench, and 11 for Herb Jones as well. BI did not have a great shooting game, just 8 points, 7 assists. He had 9 turnovers as well. Not a great game, but he hit a couple free throws to seal the game. The Pelicans have gotten a lot better as season's gone on, you know. early in the year, I was saying they're probably the most confusing team because like we don't know what they really are because they've had so many injuries. But now they're kind of at the healthiest they've been in a while, and they're starting to ball now. They're starting to look better. They made it all the way to the semifinals of the in-season tournament. They've won 3 in a row now. Zion's starting to pick it back up. CJ's been good. B.I. has had moments. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, guys like them have had some moments. And yeah, they're really starting to pick it up and starting to ball. They're definitely going to be a team that, is not going to be an easy beat. For Charlotte, 30 for Terry Rozier, shot 11 for 25. Very interested to see what his trade value is like. Because, I hope he does get traded. Because, he can provide a lot for a playoff team. Kind of some bench scoring. He can go out and get you 30 or 25 when you need him to. He can also playmake for others. We've seen that the last few games since LaMelo's gone down and he's come back. So I'm very interested to see what his situation is like at the trade deadline. 27 and 10 for Miles Bridges, 16 for Brandon Miller and Nick Richards as well, who shot 7 for 7 from the field. But yeah, their bench didn't really provide much. They don't really have a bench. Their bench right now is Ish Smith, Bryce McGowan, JT Thor, Nathan Mensah played last night. So yeah, things. It's Charlotte, and LaMelo's injured. But yeah, good win for the Pelicans. Next are the Pacers and Wizards. The Wizards win this game 137-123. They snapped their 6-game losing streak. They go to 4-20, while the Pacers fall to 13-10. Washington outscored Indiana 39-18 in the second, then 39-23 in the third quarter. Surprising win from the Pacers. Team stats: they shot from the Wizards, they shot 57% from the field. Pacers shot 45%. Wizards were 20 for 26 in the free throw line. Pacers were 12 for 16. For Washington, Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma combined for 61 points. Kuzma had 31, 5, and 4. Poole had 34 and 8 assists. His best game of the year by far. Shot 12 for 18, 3 for 4 from 3. Only had 2 turnovers. Great game from Jordan Poole. His best game we've seen of him. In the last few games, he's actually been starting to pick it up a lot more. But this game was kind of like the breakout a little bit. He was efficient, shooting the ball. He looked comfortable out there. Wasn't turning the ball over. Like, he was balling. Kuzma also had 31, 23 for Corey Kispert off the bench. Tyus Jones had 13, 10, and 11 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. And Daniel Gafford also had 10 boards and 3 blocks. But Coulibaly has 17 points. Just, honestly, this is probably the best game of the Wizards season. 5 players scoring double figures. Someone had a triple-double. 2 players scored 30. Like, that's been their best game of the season so far. Which is really good for them. How long is it going to last? It's probably not going to last a long time because it's the Wizards. But still, you get encouraged to see a game like this, especially from guys like Jordan Poole, Tyus Jones, and Bilal Coulibaly, stuff like that. For Indiana, just didn't really have it. The shot making wasn't there. Isaiah Jackson had 20 and 13. He was the leading scorer. Tyrese had 19 and 11 with 4 steals. Obi Toppin had 16. Bennedict Mathurin had 13 off the bench. Aaron Nesmith had 12. But yeah, Bruce Brown was 2 for 7. Buddy Hield was 4 for 14. Miles Turner was 2 for 10. Steve McConnell was 4 for 10. Nesmith was 4 for 10. Like, just bad shooting night from Indiana, and we already know about their defense. They let up 137 points to the Wizards. That shows you all right there how not good their defense is. But yeah, shout out to the Wizards for getting a dub. That doesn't happen that often over there. Next, we had Atlanta and Toronto. The Hawks win this game 125-104. It was a close game until the fourth quarter, where Atlanta outscored Toronto 38-26. Atlanta snaps their 5-game losing streak. They go to 10-14, while the Raptors fall to 10-15. Looking at team stats, Atlanta shot 51% of the field. Toronto shot 52%. The Hawks hit 16 threes. Raptors hit 10. The Raptors are 14 for 25 from the free throw line. Hawks are just 5 for 6 from the line, but Atlanta out-rebounded Toronto 55-32, including 16 offensive rebounds. Trae Young, 38, 5, and 11. Shot 15 for 29, 7 for 15 from 3. Absolutely dominant in this game. He did have 8 turnovers, but still he was, shooting the lights out on there, and he's been absolutely balling this year. 20 for Bogdanovich off the bench. 17, 7, and 9 for DeJounte Murray. 18 and 15 with 3 blocks for Clint Capella. He had a great game. 14, 11 for Lekko Okongwu. They went with the 2 big lineup with DeAndre Hunter not being able to play. Jalen Johnson's injured. They didn't really have a lot of wing depth. Wes Matthews didn't play. So they went with a double big against Toronto, especially with Toronto spacing and stuff like that. And it worked. Combined, they both had a double-double. And Sadiq Bey also had 10 and 10. Great win from Atlanta. They used their strength. They rebounded the ball. And then Trae Young dominating for Toronto. 23, 4, and 8 for Scotty Barnes. 15 for Pascal Siakam and Jakob Poeltl, and 11 for Malachi Flynn off the bench. OG didn't have a good game. Dennis Schroeder didn't have a good game either. Atlanta just, dominated. And they needed that one, really. Atlanta was really struggling. They lost 5 in a row at that point. They needed anything, and they got it. Next, we had the Magic and the Celtics. Celtics win this game 128-111. They have a big second and third quarter. Celtics go to 19-5. They're now 13-0 at home. The only team that have not lost a home game yet this year. Magic fall to 16-8. Celtics taking care of business, even though Orlando has been owning Boston the past year, but Boston finally got one. The Celtics shot 52% of the field, Magic shot 48%. Celtics hit 18 threes in this game, Magic hit 14. Boston also forced 21 Orlando turnovers in this one. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum, 30 points, shot 11 for 22 from the field. Payne Pritchard had a great game as well, 21 points, 5 assists off the bench. He had 6 threes, brought a lot of energy and shot making off there. 19 and 8 with 4 steals for Derek White, 18 for Jalen Brown. And Sam Hauser and O'Shea Brissett each had 11 points as well. No Porzingis in this game, no Al Horford either, but they still got it done. They went with a smaller lineup, but Lamar Stevens was out there running the big, They had Neemias Queta out there playing, who fouled out in 18 minutes, but they still got it done over a bigger Orlando team. Celtics just brought a lot of energy, were fast, forced a lot of turnovers, and hit a lot of threes. And that's how they play. For Orlando, they had 6 players scoring double figures, the entire starting lineup scoring double figures. Turnovers. Their bench didn't really provide as much as they usually do, which is tough. And Boston was just a better team at the end of the day. In Orlando, they bullied the Boston, got out to a good start in the second quarter, bullied them early, and Orlando just couldn't really fight back at any point. So shout out to the Celtics for getting that win. Next, we have Lakers Spurs on ESPN, the rematch of what happened the other day. The Spurs win this game 129-115. They snapped their 18-game losing streak, which was the longest in franchise history. They go to 4-20. Lakers fall to 15-11. The Spurs got off to a great start, outscoring the Lakers 42-22 in the first quarter. Lakers had a 40-point second quarter, but then the Spurs held on from the third to the fourth, and they get the win. Team stats: San Antonio shot 49% of the field, Lakers shot 48%. The Spurs hit 18 threes, Lakers hit 11 threes. Both teams had under double-digit turnovers as well. For the Spurs, Devin Vassell, 36 points, shot 12 for 19, 5 for 10 from 3, was balling in this game. He's been balling the entire year. And I'm glad that people are seeing, because in the offseason, right before the season started, he got paid a huge contract, and a lot of people were like, what? What has he even done? But this year, he's taken a step. He's arguably been the Spurs' best player this year. He's been a bucket getter. He's been doing it from all 3 levels too, getting to the rim and scoring. The mid-range is pure. The 3 ball is there. He came in and people thought he was just going to be a cool 3-and-D good player, but he's turned into a lot more than that. He's turned into a 3-level scorer that also can defend pretty solid as well. Kind of like maybe like a Mikal Bridges type of player, which is really, really good to have. And yeah, he had that game last night on ESPN showing the world, hey, I'm here. He had a good game, 17 and 6 assists for Keldon Johnson, 16 for Zach Collins off the bench, 15 for J.D. Osman off the bench. He had 6 assists. He had hit some couple big threes. 13, 15, and 5 for Wemby. Had 2 steals and 2 blocks. I wish he would have got the ball more. I felt like after the first half, or after the first quarter, really, it's just like he wasn't getting the ball. So I like to see that a lot more. But he was doing other things like rebounding, defending. Malachi Branham had 12 and 8 assists, and Jeremy Sohan had 11 and 8 as well. Great win from San Antonio. From the start to the finish, they were on it, even though they did allow the Lakers to come back. And I think everyone thought the Lakers were going to come back and win the game. But the Spurs in the third quarter, fourth quarter, held on, hit some big shots, and just kept the energy going. For the Lakers, no AD, no D'Lo, no Cam Reddish, 3 starters. LeBron, 23, 7, and 14. Austin Reeves had 22, 7, and 4, 20 for Riyad Jamar off the bench, 17 and 8 for Christian Wood, 12 for Torian Prince. But yeah, just didn't have enough. Defensively they weren't really there, and then offensively, if it wasn't LeBron or Austin Reeves, nothing was really happening. Like Max Christie didn't have a good game, Vanderbilt didn't have a good game. Christian Wood had a decent game. Torian Prince was like up and down the entirety of the game. Yeah, defensively they weren't really there either. But shout out to the Spurs, man. They finally got a win in front of their home court, home fans. So yeah, it's big for them. Next, we have Rockets and Grizzlies. The Rockets win this game 103-96. Grizzlies got off to a good start in the first quarter, outscoring their Houston Rockets 39-14. Then the third quarter, Rockets outscored Memphis 30-19. In the fourth, they outscored them 20-22. Rockets are now 13-9. They've won 5 in a row. They're up to 6 now in the Western Conference. Memphis, they fall to 6-18. They've lost 4 in a row. Team stats: the Grizzlies shot 40% of the field. Rockets actually did not have a good shooting game, shot 36%. But the free throw line, Rockets are 28 for 32 from the free throw line. Grizzlies were 11 for 15. Rockets also forced 17 Memphis turnovers as well. For the Rockets, Dylan Brooks in his revenge game, his return to Memphis, 26 points, 7 rebounds, shot 10 for 20, hit the big 3-pointer to kind of seal the game. Has some words with Desmond Bane as well, because why not? And yeah, had a great game out there that Dylan did, and he's up having a good year for the Rockets. Kind of been what they needed. Defensively, he's bringing it, and offensively, he's hitting his shots. Which is big. 16, 6, and 8 for Fred VanVleet as well. He had 4 steals and 2 blocks. He had a pretty solid game. 15 and 7 with 2 steals and 3 blocks for Operation Goon. 14 for Jalen Green off the bench. Jeff Green at 12, and Tari Eason at 11 and 8. I really love what Tari Eason has been doing since he's come back from injury. Didn't really play to start the year because of injury. He's come back. And he's been very, very good. I was a big fan of Tari Eason. Last year, his rookie year, I think he's going to be a player that plays a long time, kind of a Swiss Army knife. They can do a lot of different things on the court. He's going to be very valuable to especially winning teams. And and then Jabari Smith Jr. also had 12 rebounds, even though he shot 1 for 9. For Memphis, 28 and 13 for Desmond Bane, shot 11 for 25 from the field. 22 for Jaren Jackson, shot 8 for 23, 0 for 7 from 3. He had 4 blocks as well. Vince Williams, 11 and 8. He's actually been playing pretty solid the last few games. 11 for Santi Aldama, 10 and 9 for Bismack Biyombo. Yeah, the Grizzlies just didn't have enough at the end of the game. The second half, the Rockets just absolutely blitzed them and dominated them. And the final game we had, Knicks Suns on ESPN. The Knicks win this game 139-122, led by Jalen Brunson. The Knicks now go to 14 and 10, while the Suns fall to 13 and 12, down to 10th in the West because the West is crazy. The Suns had a big second quarter, but the Knicks outscored the Suns 42-23 in the fourth quarter and get the win. Team stats: the Knicks shot 60% from the field. 60% from the field as a team. You're doing something right. Suns shot 52%. The Knicks hit 17 threes. Suns hit 11 threes. The Knicks were also 24 for 28 from the free throw line. Suns were 11 for 21. And Jalen Brunson, 50 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 steals, shot 17 for 23, 9 for 9 from 3. Just an absolutely dominant performance out there. I mean, he was actually just balling. He went, I think, 7 for 7 in the second half from deep. Just letting the 3 fly. I feel like everything he was throwing up was going in, because really it did. I mean, he only missed 6 shots. Defensively, he was there as well, 5 steals. Like, he was just balling out there. Took over this game late. And man, a lot of people talk about his contract. It's true. It's one of the best in the league. I mean, you're getting an all-star like talent for, not all-star like money. Like it's just been crazy to see what he's been doing this year. He had a great game. Randall had 23, 8, and 6. RJ had 21, and the man quickly had 10 off the bench. So even without Mitchell Robinson, who's going to be out for a little while, they're winning games. Great win over the Suns. For Phoenix, 29 for Kevin Durant, 28 and 9 assists for Devin Booker, 21 and 12 for Nurkic, 13 for Grayson Allen. Unfortunately, Bradley Beal was injured 5 minutes into this game. He went up for a 3 and kind of fell awkwardly, did the Kawhi Leonard, landed on someone's ankle. Very weird, on DiVincenzo's ankle. Fortunately, he had to leave the game, which sucked because they just played their first game together against Brooklyn where they lost, and now, he's injured again. So, man, it's just tough that we're probably not gonna be able to see them, those 3 consistently out there on the court together. And who knows how long Bradley Beal's gonna be out, with the injury and stuff. It just really sucks, But they could have won this game, but Jalen Brunson, man, they couldn't guard Jalen Brunson. They couldn't guard the Knicks in general. I mean, the team shot 60% from the field. You know what I mean? Like, he was balling. He was absolutely balling. Just crazy to see him do that. Like, he's just turned into All-Star. He's gonna be in the All-Star game this year. If he's not, that's crazy. But he's gonna be an All-Star this year. I talked about it in my 8 players that could be first-time All-Stars video I did the other day. You can go back and watch that if you missed it. But he's been balling. The Knicks ball, and the Knicks got the win. That's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, also like that. Really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Again, we're on the road to 500 subs, so I really would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me if you hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.